Hello, and welcome to another episode of a Geek's 5-Minute News. I'm your host, Mr. Octopi. Today we're going to be going over mainly things like the new GTX 680, so I'm really excited about this. We're also going to be covering just Intel's kind of futuristic SSD line and some EVGA stuff and just a few other things, but mainly this episode is going to be focused on the brand new, newly released GTX 680, so hopefully you'll enjoy and stay tuned. Oh man, after a full bowl of spaghetti for dinner and after a lot of research, I think it's finally time to get into this new GTX 680. So I'm not going to be doing a review or anything on this or an unboxing. I really wish I could. I want to get my hands on that. It's just expensive, and I'm just going to be mainly covering the news and some of the specs and such. So first, let's just start off with a quick video that NVIDIA has released. Well, not NVIDIA directly, but just on the YouTube channel. And it's mainly just discussing some of the main features or some of the new actual features coming out in the card, and most of those are including, the GPU Turbo Boost, the TXAA, which is anti-aliasing, I think that's how you pronounce it, and it runs at the same kind of performance. I mean, it takes up the amount of power as X2, but it looks better than X8. That's what I hear, and if you look at the video to show you an example, it does look really good. It basically gets rid of all those points because 3D objects are made of polygons, and it just gets rid of those edges that you see, or at least the majority of it. Multi-display support, 3D surround on one card, all that kind of good stuff. So video, also there's a nice fluffy bear in there, or fluffy monster. So if you want to see a fluffy monster, check out this video. GTX 680 is just an added bonus. For the actual specs, let's actually get into this. So as you can see by the title here, it is 50% faster than the previous version GTX 580 in 3D Mark 11, which is insane, seeing that it only pulls like 280 or so watts, or somewhere around that ballpark, I'd like to say, which really isn't a lot in the scheme of a high-performance GPU as this thing is. It only uses two 6-pin connectors, and it has basically a 1 gigahertz GPU clock, specifically 1006, but GPU boost allows it to boost 5 to 10% faster under load or in specific times in the game whenever you need that extra FPS. Along with that, it has 1536 CUDA cores. It's based on the GK104. I'll be talking about the GK110 in just a little bit. And it has a 6 gigahertz effective GPU clock, or memory clock actually I should say, which is pretty high, and 2 gigabytes of GDDR5. Now, some people are disappointed at 2 gigabytes, but I'm sure a few companies will be coming out with 4, and I guess 2, it supports up to 4 monitors, and with the 4 gigabytes I'm sure it'll definitely be more than enough for what you actually need. Along with that, just a few other things. The die size is actually relatively small, 294 millimeters squared. I believe that's about 50 or so millimeters bigger than the new Intel Ivy Bridge processor, so it's actually decently small in the scheme of things. It's a lot smaller than the 7970, and just 3.5 billion transistors, which is that number keeps on going up. 256-bit bus width, which is a little bit lower than other cards, but still, that's fine. And, mainly the same things with just boosted performance and everything else like that. So if you want to see more of the specs, it does support PCI Express 3.0, then make sure to look at this list. And yeah, as I said before, just a few minutes ago, I would be talking about the GK110. Now, the GK110 was rumored to actually be the current GTX 680, but it turned out to be GK104, and 690 was supposed to be dual GK110s, but now dual GK104s. But anyway, now how it's come down to it is that their current 680 is GK104, and coming rumored August 2012, which isn't that far away, they're going to have an even better, maybe GTX 685 or something, and this thing is a complete beast if it turns out to be true. It's going to have 6 billion transistors and a die size of 550 millimeters squared. That's almost twice as much as the actual current GTX 680. 2,304 CUDA cores, 4.5 teraflops of computing power, which is just ridiculously high. I mean, in order to run the Samaritan demo for Unreal Engine 3, it took 3 GTX 580s to produce 2.5 teraflops. And this one card is producing 4.5. That's insane. And 250, 300 watts, you know, just high power consumption, you know, that kind of stuff. Price range, probably $650, $700. Probably not $650. So be looking forward to this. This is a little while away, but dude, these graphics cards are insane. A little off topic of the GTX 680, we have an Intel kind of up and coming SSD. Intel is in the SSD business. They have the 500 series, which is actually pretty decent. It's getting good reviews, you know, good performance, good price. And they're going to be releasing an actually 20 nanometer, I believe it's NAND flash. Is that what I'm seeing here? Just some sort of flash. I'm just guessing it's going to be NAND flash, MLC chips, and it's going to be coming Q1 2013, and their biggest model is going to be 1.6 terabytes. Now, while that's probably going to run you about $1,100, 1.6 terabytes in an actual just 2.5, I believe it's 2.5. Yep, there you go. It's going to be a 2.5 inch SATA 6 or 3 SATA 3 drive. And that's actually a lot of space. So SSDs are advancing rather quickly. Another thing, if you look at it, even though $1,100 seems like a lot, you realize that that's under the the dollar per gigabyte zone. And SSDs have always been going down in price. So if this turns out to be true, it's going to be, what is that, like 90 cents a gigabyte, around that kind of range. And prices just keep on going down. And the performance, I'm guessing, is going to just be a complete beast. So if all that turns out to be true, it's going to be pretty awesome. So new SSDs coming in the future for you guys. One last thing on the GTX 680. I personally am an EVGA fan, and turns out that they're going to be coming out with 5 different models of the GTX 680. So while currently it's only reference design, which means just, you know, you have the NVIDIA card and, you know, you just slap your logo sticker on there and there's your card. But a few days from now, you know, different companies are going to start coming out with their own cards with probably different PCBs, different fans, different clocks, all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be pretty awesome. And EVGA has always been one of those companies where the graphics card have always just been renowned for being really, really good. Along with a bunch of other companies. Specifically for EVGA, they're going to have 5 different cards. One is going to be the reference design. One is going to be a super clocked, which is just overclocked, you know, a little bit more power consumption. A for the win, which is a little, or FTW, which is a little bit higher. I believe, what is that? It's going to be a 5, no, that's going to be, okay. I believe that's going to be a 5-phase actual VRM, but then the, 14-phase, something like that. And then the classified, actually, which the classified 580 turned out to be a really good card, however pretty expensive, is going to actually feature the 14-phase VRM, and it's going to take up 2 8-pin connectors and a 6-pin connector. So that thing's going to be able to overclock like nobody's business and be amazing. And then finally, the hydro copper version, whoops. And then the for the win is going to be able to have 4 gigabytes of memory. So just a few cards coming up in the future. Looks like these GTX 680s are going to just keep on getting better and better. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed the show. The GTX 680 finally came out. Bunch of more stuff going to be coming. New cards, you know. Probably a factory clock 7970 coming, so I'll be telling you about that. Probably I believe in May or March, around the time frame. I'm thinking May. Both NVIDIA and AMD are going to come out with their dual GPU, you know, the 7990 and the 690. So it's going to be coming out. I'll definitely be telling you any news on that. That should be pretty cool. High price, high performance, all that good stuff. So, as always, if you want me to track anything or, you know, tell me what you want me to look up in the news, just leave a comment below. I'll definitely consider doing that if it's related to technology or whatever, and put up in any shows whenever the news comes up. Also, if you could leave me a like, favorite, comment, anything to help me out, it would be greatly appreciated. So, hopefully you enjoyed the news again, and stay tuned for tomorrow for anything new coming up. I'm Mr. Octopi. Have a great day. See you tomorrow, guys.